You're looking for an answer to the question, how are we to live? And you're also mentioning, the topic of human potential. And these are two topics and questions that I actually try to focus on myself. How are we to live? What is the answer to this question? Like, what is the way for us, the best way for us to live so that we can also really awaken our potential as human beings, fulfill the purpose for which we have been created. And after a long journey, and we'll kind of continue to go into the details, but you ended up entering into Islam now a few years ago. Why Islam? What led you to Islam?
I think, in a sense, Buddhism led me to Islam because Buddhism wasn't enough. But I really went as far as I could with my capacity, let's say, my potential, the potential I had for meditation, far enough to see that it wasn't for me, or and I couldn't see a lot of great results around me anyway. So yeah, but what was missing, I found it in Islam, but I didn't know at first that my conversion to Islam wasn't the result of a rational train of thought. It was the result of a vision, actually, because one night I drank alcohol and a bit too much, and I spent the night arguing online on YouTube, YouTube comment section about stuff and getting angry. And in the morning, I felt very you know very depressed with the headache and and the stomach ache and yeah, and also I felt so disappointed in myself. What did I do? Well, how wise is that? Spending the night arguing with strangers. So I felt like I was. Now I'm smiling and joking, but I was at the bottom, rock bottom or close. And I prayed to God, even though I had spent decades being a Buddhist and even teaching Buddhism at some point. There was this thirst for God was still there, still alive. I couldn't entirely, kill my need for a relationship with a deity. So I prayed intensely, so intensely that I don't know what happened. I had a vision. I was in my bed. It lasted 2 or 3 seconds, very quick. But I was sitting with a bearded man, uh, beards and hats, maybe turbans. I don't know. It was so fast. But I was sitting with them, and I could see that they were Muslims. But what was shocking, striking, was the peace that I could feel, but also the remembrance, that atmosphere, that peace that I felt in that room, sitting with these men, was the answer to my pain, to my depression. And I came back after 3 seconds from that vision, and I was a different man. I knew, because I was reignited in me the remembrance of a state that I knew when I was younger. And I thought, yes, that's what life is about, and I have to find it. And a word in my head that I heard was noble, the word noble.
Mm.
And I thought, yes, that's what I'm supposed to be. That's what I should be aiming for. Nobility of being. That's my real identity. Before that, I was afraid. I was scared. I have to admit, Islam was the last religion that I wanted to look into because of the mainstream media. But it didn't matter. After that vision, nothing mattered. I was ready for anything. It was so deep. It wasn't intellectual. It was in the deepest, in my heart. I knew for certain. I knew that I always knew. That's hard to
Yeah.
explain, but I knew that I always knew.